Mama said the bomb wasn't meant for me. I think it was meant for Pastor Martin because he be having them dreams. Maybe those white men didn't know that little black girls, we be going to church too. And we be folding our hands, praying, and we be taking communion just like their daughters do. Maybe if I wore my church shoes, the bad men would have never came for me. I knew they matched my dress, but they always just be hurting my feet. I be thinking, did God christen the bombs that exploded my flesh into sacrifice? And do anybody be hearing them sacrificial scriptures spoken in tongues, claiming Christ before everything went boom? Before the smoke and rubble baptized these collapsing bones? Maybe if they knew that we were like the most beautiful flowers right before the wind and the dirt began playing tug of war with the delicate of our petals. Mama said it only took one man to die for the sins of this entire world. So how did that man let this church tremble on my soul? And I don't remember there being enough holy water to stop the smoke or to calm the burning. Mama said some heartbreaks just be too hard to swallow at communion. That some serpents be finding salvation in baptismal pools, that some church mice be screaming America's dirty little secrets. Mama told me that some deaths just be too black and too white to be labeled holy. That some sacrifice comes without permission. That some sacrifice comes without fair warning. That God can't always protect you from the boogeyman. So some baby girls will reach the pearly gates and they won't be tall enough to turn the handles. Mama would always just be saying that some men will be just too guilty to ever claim their innocence with Christ. But what did I do? I never wanted to play with the white girls. I never asked for integration. All I wanted was a pair of roller skates, maybe an extra piece of cake after dinner time. Sometimes I'd be thinking like maybe God was too busy trying to protect Martin to think about us. I never asked for that man's dream. But Mama just keeps saying that his dream just been asking for me. How do you tell a woman that raising a black son isn't some inside joke crafted by God and some white man? Can you prove to me that they are not in heaven snickering at the soul of a single-parent mother dressing her son up for graduation, hoping he can make it across the stage, down the aisle, or off the balcony, quick enough to not get caught in his skin at the wrong time? I've touched the bellies of mothers who aborted black boys like thrown overboard slaves, who will look you in the eyes like a bluebird awakening to a war and whisper, I am just afraid to raise a black son. A black boy is just a trembling soul suffocating in a fabric that always seemed to make you scratch around your neck, the tag that always seemed to make you itch around your noose collar. How can you tell a mother holding her son in a delivery room, praying that his skin doesn't get any darker, hoping that it stays as light and deceiving as a sunrise in the ghetto, that her son isn't some white man's pit stop? That her son's body isn't a chamber for some bigot to sow his sin and southern accent in, that her son isn't some colored toy for the rich blue-eyed boys. I am just afraid to raise a black son who will spend the rest of his life praying for a melody or melanin safe enough to scream in. A son who has to be a martyr for a war that he ain't ever asked for. when I met you, I still had bruises from my last relationship. And that's not a metaphor. I wore long sleeves and you held me like I was something you were going to put all of your apologies into. I knew we weren't right for each other, but we were both desperate for something at the same time. So we happened. We didn't happen well, but we happened. I still wonder if your tangles worry about your face, if you get hot in the middle of the night, if you've traded in my memory for the weighted blanket of another woman who has an apologetic body like the one I had, who's flattered by the way you roll your R's and your God into places they never belonged, flattered by the way you play pretend. How many Bible verses did you bend to fit that woman's body where mine had been? My mother still asks about you, and I don't wish to tell her that I lost yet another pair of earrings, that I left your smell on my sheets until they grayed something funky, that I forced my body to sleep in a bed with a lying-ass woman, and I've never apologized to myself for the restlessness. When you cheated on me, I still fried you fish, made you eggs and cheese grits, still loved you enough to send you off on a full stomach. I learned that sometimes your lovers will turn coward before your eyes, and you must decide if you want to stay around long enough to call them one, if you want to watch the pee roll down a grown woman's legs. Just how come you let the things you love grow sour? How come you couldn't be more of a Christian than a coward? How come you hide me like I'm ugly? How come you treat me like you don't love me? I know that you lied to me because you don't want me to know you this way. But love, we are this way. And who am I not to give you enough grace to let you go? Why hold you hostage to an apology that actually won't get better over time? I'd rather love you alone than love you a liar. You held the part of my sleep pattern that reminded me that morning was coming. But now night is just night, love. And I've discovered that alone is way better than lied to. You know you cheated on me, and I still fucked you like I was grateful. Fucked you like I was trying to undo the memory of the woman who found her way into my bitch and my back door, into places that she could only reach if you let her. So love, where did you let her? How many times did you let her? And I still want to earn myself up a good memory in your bones. You know, sometimes I want to say that I'll come back to you, but I've learned not to make promises. Learned that I don't own enough of forever to give it to nobody. Sometimes I wonder if the woman who broke my heart ate dinner. Wonder if she's full, if she's eaten well. If she remembered to take the clothes out of the washing machine to put them in the dryer, or if she'll have to repeat the cycle all over again. Look at you. So ready to betray yourself. You don't even know who you are, and look at all you are willing to give up. You don't even know what you want. You so damn focused on what you lost wanted to be left. What you lost ain't coming back for you. don't you know that everything lost ain't missing? So what are you begging for? For somebody to unmake their mind about you? Bear me a favor, that you don't ever beg nobody to stay. That you don't ever beg nobody to love you. Love don't beg. Love ain't never have to beg for nothing. Don't walk through this world trying to keep everything. Because everything ain't yours. Even the things that you want to be yours, even the things that were once yours, do you know that something can once be yours and then not be yours? Don't get used to nothing. I don't give a damn about who don't want you. Do you want you? And if you are so worth keeping, why won't you keep you? How come you ain't kept you? And when you finally trade yourself in, what do you want in return? The world? The woman who ain't even won herself got the nerve to ask somebody for the world. What fool gonna go and give you new shoes if you can't take care of the ones on your feet? You can't be trusted with the world. You'd waste the world. And what fool is gonna give a world to a woman who ain't even won herself? And you know it ain't no such thing as the world. Just your world. The one you make is the one you got. And when you finally trade yourself in, you don't get another one. So what is your world worth at its smallest? Ain't your world worth you? Ain't you worth you? Some of my heroes are gonna stand on the stage and perform poems tonight. And the universe only offers a handful of us the opportunity to walk off of this stage and to be poets throughout our lives. And those are these people. My dad wanted me to be a teacher, and I told my daddy that when I graduated from college, I was going to be a poet. And 16 years later, that is the truth. I pray that when the universe picks poets for our next generation, that the universe picks you. And I hope that you accept that call. It has been an honor to stand before you this evening.